Hey, Shelly. Is now a good time to talk? I'm really sorry to pry, but I just feel like I kind of have to ask. Why were you eating out of a dog bowl earlier? Is there something going on that I should know about? I see that. I was just kind of surprised to see that.
Oh no. Did you really see me doing that? Oh, that is so embarrassing. I am so sorry that you had to see something so strange. I hope it didn't put you off too much.
No, sorry. I'm not asking because I was upset by it or anything like that. I guess I just wanted to know why it is that you were doing that. I mean, is there a reason why you were eating out of a dog bowl? Is that something you do often around here?
Oh, don't worry. It's totally fine. There is nothing to worry about when it comes to that at all. It's just a little something I do now and then, but it really is nothing to worry about in the slightest.
Sorry, you just enjoy eating your meals out of a doggy bowl? Is that really what's going on around here? Because if that's the truth, then I really don't care what you do as long as it's safe and you enjoy it, of course. But if that's the truth, then I don't see why you would want to hide it. I mean, when you're eating out of there, you look like you didn't want anyone else to see what you were doing at all, you know?
You got me there. I was just lying about doing it now and then. I don't even know why I said that to begin with. But the thing is that I just broke some plates and there weren't any more in the house. So since I broke the plates, I told everyone that I wouldn't mind having to take my meal out of the doggy bowl, like you saw.
I see, but that's the other thing. My family doesn't own a pet at all. So I don't even understand why they would own a doggy bowl to begin with. Shelly, please. I'm really not mad or anything like that, but would you just please tell me what exactly is going on here?
Okay, I guess I have no choice but to be honest with you. I'm eating out of a dog bowl because your mom asked me to. Well, more like ordered me to.
Wait, what? You're trying to tell me that my mom is forcing you to eat out of a dog bowl? Is that really true?
No, wait, forget I said that. I didn't mean that at all. I swear, please, just forget everything that I've said about this whole thing. Let's just drop this and never ever bring it up again. After all, this is the first time that you've been back home for something like 3 years, right? I really would rather that you relax and not have to worry about my problems.
Shelly, please, just wait one second. I mean, do you really think that I'm going to be able to enjoy my time here at all, knowing that something like this is going on? Please, you can talk to me. You can trust me, okay? I just want you to tell me what it is that my mom has told you to do.
Well, if I tell you what's been going on around here, do you promise not to tell another soul? I mean it, you can't tell anyone else at all what I'm about to tell you. Do you understand me, Charles?
Of course. You have my word that I'm not going to mention any of this to anyone else. Now, can you please just tell me what the heck is going on around here?
It's true. What I said about your mom ordering me to eat my meals out of a dog bowl is all true. And honestly, I'm not sure how much more of this I'm going to be able to take.
Shelly, I'm so sorry that you had to go through all this. What in the world happened between you and my mom that would make her want to treat you like this?
There's been a lot that's happened between us, actually. It's all been so much, though. It's almost hard to remember. At first, it wasn't this bad, though. She would complain about my cooking and start throwing away my food. Then she even started throwing away my belongings that she said were useless and taking up space around the house. She even threw away all my makeup. She told me that if I had time to be putting on makeup, then I should have time to clean around the house. But I had so many nice products.
I don't know what to say. Shelly, I am so sorry. This is all just so horrible to hear. What makes it even worse is that I don't think anyone has a clue about any of this.
But it isn't all your mom's fault, so please don't think that. It's almost my fault. It's my fault for being such an idiot. And you know how much of a perfectionist your mom is. So anytime I made a mistake, she would always let me know that I was wrong right away. But over time, she would do with the insults and put-downs, and it just got worse.
Shelly, please. Shelly, please. You can't blame yourself for any of this. Everybody makes mistakes. And even if you do feel like you need to make up for them somehow, what my mom is doing to you just isn't right. You aren't dumb, and you don't need to be perfect. You're human just like we all are, and you deserve respect. But what I really want to know is if my brother Quinn is doing anything about this.
I actually haven't told Quinn that any of this is going on. And your mom is always so kind to me whenever there are other people around. But I know that her anger is just building up inside of her. I can see it in her eyes. The way she looks at me when no one else is. I can see the hate she has for me. Although now that I think about it, I think that your mom really started to get about all of this after your father passed away.
I see, but are you saying that that means that my mom has been treating you in the way that you described to me just now ever since my dad died?
That's right. But I guess that means that it's been about as long as you've been out of the house, hasn't it? Although I guess it really does make sense. After all, when that happened, the time that I was spending alone with your mom at home increased by a lot.
I know I should have been coming home more often to check in on everyone. I'm so sorry that you've been dealing with all of this, Shelly. I'm even more sorry that I didn't notice so I could put a stop to it.
Please don't blame yourself for any of this, Charles. It really isn't your fault at all. I wasn't trying to make you feel bad for what's been going on with me. Now look at what I've gone and done. I've made you feel guilty about something that you have nothing to do with.
Shelly, you really are too nice, but did you realize that? I think it might do you some good to be just a bit more mean or angry from time to time. I mean, if everything that you've told me is true, that means that my mom has been treating you like this for the last 3 years.
Has it really only been 3 years? I don't believe it. It feels like it's been much longer than that. But I still don't get it when I think about it. I mean, your mom was such a nice lady when the two of us first met. I think that's part of the reason why I blame myself so much for what's going on. I just assume that whatever caused the change in your mom must have been something to do with me.
I know what you mean. I've noticed things changing for my mom as well. I've noticed her attitude getting worse and worse. But still, I just never thought in a million years that my mom would get this bad. I mean, I don't care what's happened between the two of you. To make you do something like eat out of a dog bowl is just unacceptable.
I know, but I'm trying to tell you that it's really not as bad as it seems. I mean, I love dogs. I really do.
Shelly, I think you and I both know that that is not the problem here. But I will say that I really admire the brave face that you're putting on in spite of all this. I mean, to have been subjected to this kind of treatment by your own mother-in-law?
Well, anyways, just remember the promise that you made to me, okay? You promised me that you wouldn't tell anyone at all about this, remember?
Yes, I know. You won't have to worry about this at all, but I'm going to have to talk to my mom about this, of course. I mean, I know that you don't want this to continue, right? You can't actually be happy living this way.
Well, I'll admit that it's not fun. It's actually really hard.
I mean, I'm sure that it is. And you don't deserve to be treated like this. So please just leave everything to me. I'm going to make sure that something like the things that you've been going through never ever happen to you again.
Charles, thank you so much. For everything. I mean it.
Hey, Mom, are you there? I was wondering if you wouldn't mind chatting with me for a bit here. There are a few things I'd like to talk to you about if that's all right.
Oh, Charles. You know, I'm so happy that you're finally home. It really has been so long since I've had my little boy back here. So, of course, we can talk. Let's talk about whatever you want to talk about.
I'm glad that you said that, Mom, because I kind of want to talk about Shelly. I was just curious what you think of her.
You want to know what I think about Shelley? Well, why would you want to know something like that?
Well, I guess I just wanted to make sure that the two of you are getting along okay. I mean, have there been any kind of issues between you two? It seems to me like things are going well around here, but you can never really know without asking, right? I guess I'm just asking because I'm thinking about when I'm going to get married, and I just wanted to ask about how living with your daughter-in-law has been going for you.
I see. Well, that makes sense, I suppose. What can I say about Shelley? Well, if I can really be honest with you, I think that she might just be a little slow from time to time. And she can certainly stand to improve her direction following.
Really? Is that how you feel about her? So you think that she doesn't really do a good job of listening to you when you tell her to do things?
I just mean that these things happen. But as we can clearly see, the fault is usually overwhelmingly on the daughter-in-law. But what else can you really expect with how spoiled the younger generations are these days? That's why it's up to the ladies of my generation to whip these young girls into shape and make sure they know how to be good wives for their husbands and good daughters-in-law to us. Although, I suppose, given how sensitive people your age are these days, some people might actually call this bullying.
I see. Well, I guess now I feel I have at least a better sense of how you think about Shelley. Thanks for telling me all of that.
Well, of course, I would never ever hide any secrets from you. Besides, I'm sure that you know what I'm talking about after coming here and interacting with her.
So I guess that means that you would be saying that you've been pretty strict in terms of how you've been interacting with Shelley then?
Of course I have. She's left me with no choice in the matter at all. And as her mother-in-law, I just had to take it upon myself to make sure she flies straight. But now I'm curious, Charles. Has Shelley told you anything about me at all? I just know that she can be such a crybaby sometimes and will tell the craziest fibs about how horrible I am, just to try and get people to feel bad for her.
No, of course not, Mom. Shelley hasn't told me anything bad about you at all. It's just that this is the first time I've been home in I don't know how long. And anyways, I guess I was just a little surprised when I saw that Shelley was eating from a dog bowl the other day. I'm just curious. Did you tell her to do that, or did she choose to do that on her own? What was going on with that?
Of course I was the one who told her that she had to eat out of the dog bowl. You have no idea the lengths that I have gone to try and get that girl to fix her life. But all she does is cry and cry about how unfair her life is. I know that all she's really trying to do is get out of doing things like taking care of the house, like what she is supposed to be doing. So that's why I made her start eating out of the bowl. If she wants to act like an untrained dog, then she'll eat like one until she learns.
Mom, are you for real? Do you really think that is any way to treat another human being?
And just what is that supposed to mean? I've already explained to you that I'm doing what I'm doing in order to make Shelley into an even better person.
So you really think that you're doing all of this for Shelley's sake? If that were true, then why don't you treat Shelley the way that you have been treating her in front of my brother, huh? I mean, I was talking to him a bit about this, and he told me that he had no idea that Shelley was going through any of this. So if you were keeping it from him, it must have been because you didn't want him knowing what you were doing, right?
Of course not. You're getting this all wrong. I just didn't want to give your brother any more to worry about. You know how busy he is with work things all of the time. I just didn't want to take up more of his time with something like this. After all, what matters most is that he's able to concentrate on doing his work.
But I still don't understand. What is it about Shelley that makes you hate her so much? What did she do to you?
Again, Charles, you're getting this all wrong. I never ever said that I hate the girl. The thing is, though, is that she's just a bit dim and she needs someone to tell her how to be the best version of herself that she can be. And she can do that by listening to every little thing that I have to say to her. It really isn't my fault that she's so useless. But I can assure you that I am doing everything in my power to make sure that she doesn't stay that way forever. You should be thanking me for all I'm doing.
So you really think Shelley is useless, Mom? I have to say that I'm really shocked. I just didn't think that you were this kind of person. I mean, you've given so many different excuses about Shelley, but all I'm hearing is that you just plain don't like her. Isn't that right?
And so what? It's my house, and I'm allowed to like or dislike the people that are staying here. After all, she's the one that married my son and moved in with me.
I get that, Mom, but still. Can you really not see just how horrible you've been treating her?
I don't care what you think. I know what's best for her. And I am doing what I am doing for her sake. She has to eat out of a dog bowl until she remembers what it's like to be a good person. But anyways, enough about that dumb girl. You shouldn't be letting her ruin the time that you have being back at home with your family.
I can't do this anymore, Mom. I don't want anything to do with you ever again. As far as I'm concerned, you are not my mom.
What do you mean by that? Are you really going to act this way because of the way I treat some dumb girl who couldn't take orders correctly to save her life?
You know, I really wanted to believe that I wasn't getting the whole picture, that I was missing something that would explain this whole situation and make it all make sense. But I'm afraid that it's just as I feared. Maybe even worse than I feared. But I'm afraid that if this is the way you want to choose to treat people, then I can't call you my mom.
Charles, what in the world are you going on about? I mean, you haven't been home to visit your family in 3 years, and this is the way that you're going to behave? Surely you didn't come all this way back home just to get into a fight with your family, right?
I'm sorry, Mom, but there's nothing to fight about. I know what I need to do now. I've made up my mind. You are not my mother anymore.
Please, Charles, you're just acting ridiculous right now. I mean, what in the world has gotten into you? You used to be such a sweet boy who would always listen to what I said. Are you really going to try and ruin things with your own mom just for this dumb woman?
Why do you have to insult her in every breath that you mention her, Mom? Why can't you just let Shelly live the way that she chooses to live? Why do you have to try and control every bit of her life?
I'm sorry, Charles, but you don't live here and you don't know what it's like sharing a space with her. I am only doing what I have to do in order to keep my house running.
And how in the world does making her eat from a dog bowl accomplish that, huh? What is even the point of that?
It is part of an elaborate system of rewards and punishments that I've set up for Shelley, if you must know.
You mean it goes even bigger than this? You have this whole thing systemized? Now that really is just taking things way too far, Mom. What is the matter with you? Don't you have any shame at all? I'll give you one more chance to own up to the horrible way you've been treating Shelley.
And just what do I even have to own up to? I know that I'm right, and that's the end of it. I don't have anything to own up to or admit because everything I've been doing has been right.
Okay then, Mom. If you're really going to be like this, I think I have to ask you to leave the house.
Excuse me? What do you mean by that? What do you mean leave the house?
I mean that I bought this house, right? It's my name on the deed. Of course, when I did, it was because I wanted to make sure that you would have a place to live when it was clear that Dad wasn't going to make it. But you can't live here if you're going to treat Shelley this way.
No, hold on just a second. You're not really serious about that, are you? I mean, that's taking things way too far.
The only person taking things too far here is you, Mom. You were acting like some kind of school bully when you should be the adult here. You should be the adult here. Well, I refuse to support someone who treats another human being the way that you treat Shelley. Now get out.
Wait, no, you can't be doing this to me. I'm your mother.
Oh, don't worry. Neither you nor Quinn are going to be staying here any longer.
What is that supposed to mean? What are you trying to pull here?
I've noticed that Shelley has bruises on her knees and back. I tried to ask her about where those come from one day, and she refused to tell me. Well, I could tell from looking in her eyes that it was as I feared.
So then, you're telling me that you're really going to choose this other woman over your own mother and brother?
I can't believe it. While you were busy psychologically torturing Shelley, you were standing by while Quinn abused her physically.
Oh, please, nobody was torturing or abusing anybody. This whole thing is just getting to be ridiculous.
Except for the fact that I have video evidence of both you and Quinn treating Shelley horribly.
What do you mean? What video? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the fact that I have footage that was recorded in private while you had no idea that you were being watched.
I don't care what you say. I'm still not going to be moving out.
You really are horrible. Do you know that, Mom? I know all about how Shelley is always the first person to get up in the house. First, she has to pack Quinn's lunch for work. Then she makes breakfast for the two of you. After that, you make her do all of the cleaning and all of the washing and cleaning around the house. Then you make her cook your lunch, do the shopping, cook dinner, and fold all the laundry. You've been treating Shelley like a servant, not your daughter-in-law.
For the last time, I'm doing all of that for her sake. Why can't you get that? If I didn't tell her what to do, she would be sitting around on the sofa watching TV all day.
And just what's wrong with taking a day off where that is all you do now and then, huh? Because from what I've heard, Shelley barely has any time to sleep with how busy you're keeping her, And yet you insist that it's all for her sake?
I have had just about enough out of you. You have no idea what it's like to be a mother-in-law. I am the matriarch of this family, and what I say goes.
And so the truth finally comes out. Well, at least we both know how you feel about your role in the family. We'll see how well that goes for you, though.
How could you do this, you horrible, evil woman? How dare you go and tell my son about what's been happening? Don't you realize what you've done? You've gone and ruined my whole family.
Dee, what do you mean? I haven't done anything. I haven't told anyone anything, I swear.
Don't you play stupid with me. I know that you told Charles all about what you and I have been getting up to here. And now, thanks to you, Charles is throwing me out of the house. Do you realize that? Just what are you going to do to fix this?
But I didn't even do anything. I really didn't, I swear.
Oh, please. The least you could have done would be to try and confront me yourself instead of send my son to fight your battles for you. This is exactly why I knew that it was up to me to train you well. But clearly, you don't even know the meaning of the word gratitude, or else you wouldn't have done this.
I have had just about enough out of you, Dee.
Excuse me? What did you just say to me? How dare you talk back to me? Don't you realize just how much trouble you're in right now?
Oh, shut up already, won't you? Do you really expect me to be grateful for what you've put me through? You've done nothing but make my life a living hell ever since I moved here.
What? What's going on here? I don't understand. You're not supposed to talk to me like this.
Well, I am. And what are you going to do about it, huh? Did you really think that I wasn't getting angry under the surface this whole time?
No, What do you mean? What has gotten into you?
You know, I don't think that Charles quite understood my point of view about all of this. He seemed to think that I was taking all of this crap from you because I was weak. But that isn't true. I was just hoping that you would burn yourself out of all your bullying. I had hoped that if I put my good foot forward and showed you how eager I was to be a member of this family, that you might change your ways. But I guess my leniency has just the opposite effect on you. I suppose it all does work out in the end, though, considering the fact that you're being evicted.
What are you talking about? Who are you and what have you done with Shelley? This isn't right.
You have no idea the kinds of things I'm capable of. I was just biding my time, subjecting myself to the abuse you and your son poured on me. But really, I was just being thorough in my collection of evidence. I wanted to make sure that there wouldn't be room for any doubt at all.
You mean that you did all this on purpose? This was all part of your plan to get Quinn and I kicked out of our own home?
I wasn't tricking you at all. Like I just said, I only had the patience to let you set yourself up for failure. I knew it was only going to be a matter of time, and I guess that time has finally come for you. And now you and your no-good rotten son are going to end up homeless on the streets. There was no trick, though. Just good old-fashioned patience.
You're horrible. I didn't think that you were like this. You lied to me.
Sorry, shouldn't you and Quinn be packing? I can't imagine that Charles is going to let you stay around here that much longer, right?
I don't believe this. You're really going to go through with this. You're going to kick your own mother out onto the streets? But I still don't get it. How can you choose this ugly, stupid girl over your own family? It doesn't make any sense.
And that's just it, Mom. Unlike you, I don't only see people in the way that they can do things for me. You were nothing but a horrible, manipulative woman to Shelley. And it's clear she needed to be free of you.
But son, surely you must know that I don't have any money. I don't even have a job. What am I supposed to do? Please, we're family. You were supposed to take care of me when I got older, not abandon me like this.
I already told you that I'm not your son, and I don't care what you do. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this is just kicking out a couple of squatters in my house.
You don't really mean that, right? That's horrible.
Don't you dare even start with me about what's horrible and what's not. It's clear to me that you haven't done any reflecting about how awful you've been treating Shelly at all. But to make up for all the horrible things you've been doing to her, I'm going to let her keep this house.
Please, Charles, please don't do this. I promise that we won't ever treat her poorly again.
How about you save all your excuses for the judge? I'm sure that a court is going to pay a lot more attention to what Shelly has to say than what you did. That was the last time that I messaged my mom. After that, I blocked her and everything. I realized that she would only pester me about not punishing her, but she would never admit that what she did was wrong. After that, her and Quinn were forced out of the house. I heard that the two of them moved into a tiny cramped apartment together. I suppose they really couldn't afford a better place after settling out of court with Shelly about all the horrible things that they had put her through. I offered Shelly the house, of course, but she said there were too many painful memories there and decided to sell it instead. It's been a few months since all of that happened. I haven't heard from my mom or brother ever since. As for Shelly, we still keep in touch. I've heard that she has a new boyfriend and he's much more kind and respectful to her than Quinn ever was. Shelly even told me that she was pregnant and asked if I wouldn't mind letting her child call me uncle. I think we both realized that we lost people in our lives that we had thought were precious to us. I'm only happy that Shelly was able to get out of that situation and into a much better one. But I'm very grateful that she still remembers me and keeps me close.
Ava, oh my God, I really need to talk to you. I am in total shock at what just happened today. This is incredible. I really wasn't expecting to meet my brother's fiancé. I thought that he would be bringing over someone that I didn't know at all. I had no idea that he was bringing you to the house. You're my brother's fiancé? Wow. How long had you been dating Travis? I had absolutely no idea that this was going on. I really couldn't believe my eyes today. I thought I was dreaming, actually. Well, of course you didn't know what was going on because I didn't tell you a thing about it. It's only natural for you to react this way, too. But I don't understand why you didn't tell me that you were dating my brother, Ava. Why didn't you say anything? I thought that we were really good friends. To be honest, I couldn't be happier knowing that my brother's getting married to one of my greatest friends on the planet. I'm getting kind of emotional at the fact that we'll be sisters soon. Huh? What do you mean by that, Jane? Sisters? Come on, isn't that kind of a joke, though? I don't see why you're getting so emotional when we're hardly friends at all. Didn't you realize why I didn't say anything about this to you? I was just pretending to be a really good friend to you because I wanted to get with your really handsome brother. You really need to get it through that thick skull of yours that I'd never be friends with you. You really need to stop misunderstanding people's intentions, okay? Wait a minute, what did you just say to me? This must be some sort of joke, right? Okay, I get it. Real funny, Ava. You can stop kidding around now. Wow, you're kind of being quite pathetic right now. You know I'm not joking, Jane. Why would I want to be friends with a disabled person in a wheelchair? You can hardly move, and you're absolutely no fun to be around. You need to face reality, Jane. Your hands and feet are basically tied together, and you are bound to that ugly chair. Look, I get it. You can't use your legs anymore, and obviously it's out of your control. You'll have to be like this for the rest of your life, so I guess I'm sorry. What the heck, Ava? Ava, I don't get why you're treating me like this. How could you be so cruel? What happened to make you talk to me like this? Hey! I'm trying to talk to you. Ava, what's going on with these wedding invitations? I know that at least one wedding invitation arrived at my house for the family, but there wasn't one for me. Could it be that you put the wrong address on the invitation for me, or that there's been a mix-up at the mailing center? Do you know anything about this? Well, I haven't been in contact with you for the longest time, so it's only natural for me not to send you an invite. I don't want you interfering with my wedding ceremony. But can't you admit to yourself how stupid you're being right now? Wasn't it obvious when I told you that I was only being your friend to get to your brother? What the heck are you saying? I'd never interfere with someone's wedding, especially my own brother's wedding. Why are you saying such awful things to me? What have I ever done to you to be talked to like this, Ava? I thought that we were really good friends. Don't you want to be friends with me anymore? Oh my God, you really are stupid sometimes. I've already told you this 1,000,000 times. I used you to get closer to Travis. That's the only reason I became friends with you in the first place. Generally speaking, it would be such a shame if someone told me that I was going to gain a relative who has a disability. It just wouldn't look good. It wouldn't look good? Are you kidding me right now, Ava? Don't you see how much you're discriminating against me just because I'm in a wheelchair? Of course it wouldn't look good. It would be embarrassing. If we found out that your disability was because of your genetics, so many people would find out and just not come. If things were to end up like this, my own children could possibly have a disability as well, and I don't want that. There is no benefit in you being around this wedding. Are you seriously calling me defective, Anna? That is such a horrible thing to say. You can't just say that sort of thing to someone with a disability. It's not right. Hey now, there is no need to get so mad just because I'm speaking the truth. It wouldn't be a good look if you showed up because assumptions would be made about me. Besides, it's not like you and I are best friends or anything like that. I just wanted to be closer to your brother. Why would I want to be friends with a disabled person? You're a disgrace to your family because you're bound to this wheelchair, so please, don't bother coming to the wedding. No one wants you there, Jane. Okay, well, since you've already taken this so far, I suppose I won't go to my own brother's wedding. But what you're saying and doing is so wrong, Ava. I don't care. I just want things to go the way they should. I also would like it if you cut ties with your family. It would really help the situation. We're planning to invite a lot of relatives and have a super gorgeous ceremony without you. We don't need someone like you there cramping our style. Travis, I really need to talk to you. It's urgent, and I'm really upset about what's going on. So I was talking to Ava about how I haven't received an invite to the wedding. She ended up telling me that, this is horrible. She said that she never intended on sending me an invitation to your wedding. I feel so depressed right now.
Whoa, just calm down and breathe, little sister. What are you on about exactly? What do you mean Ava never intended on inviting you? Doesn't make sense.
Look, I don't want to say anything bad about your fiancé, Travis, but Ava has basically cut me out of her life just because I've got a disability. She also turned around and said to me that people with disabilities are defective and shouldn't be invited to special events. I just feel so terrible about myself now, Travis.
Excuse me? Did she seriously say that to you? She said that you're a defect? Has she lost her mind? Why would she say something like that to a friend?
To be honest, it's my fault for not realizing Ava's true nature when it comes to other people. She's such a terrible person, Travis. I didn't think she'd act like this. But I'm more concerned what she'll say or do in front of you once you both get married. Please be careful from now on when it comes to Ava.
This is insane. I still don't get why she'd say such a thing like that towards you when you've been so kind towards her. I don't believe this at all.
I know what you mean, Travis. I didn't want to believe what she said myself. It seems like she's been holding how she feels for a while now. Also, I was wondering if you could send me a wedding invitation. I want to be able to congratulate you properly. I want to see you get married.
Look, I really hate to break this to you, Jane, but I'm really sorry. I don't think it would be a good idea for you to come to the ceremony.
Wait, what did you just say? I'm confused. I'm your sister, Travis. Why would you not want me at the wedding ceremony? It makes no sense.
Jane, you've got to realize that weddings cost quite a lot of money, so that's why I want it to be a huge success. I want Ava to have all the attention on her wedding day.
Huh? I don't quite understand what you're getting at, Travis. Give her all the attention? What's that supposed to mean exactly? What's that got to do with me?
Well, when you come into the venue in your wheelchair, even if you don't like it, the attention will definitely be diverted to you, and I don't think she wants that. That would be a huge problem, and I want to make Ava the main focal point of the ceremony. She should be shining the brightest. She's the star of the show, so to speak. Besides, you'd be restricting the staff members' movement around the venue if you were to come in the wheelchair. If the ceremony is delayed, it would be a burden on those attending.
Huh? What? Is that seriously the problem? Even you're thinking of me as a problem? Why do you think I'm such a nuisance for? Why would you say that?
I'll just say what I need to say now so we don't have too many issues. To be honest, taking care of you is very difficult for me, Jane. It gets too much sometimes. I do feel sorry for you because you've got no movement in your legs and they just don't work properly anymore. It's just so hard to watch you wheel around sometimes. I just want you to realize that you're kind of causing trouble for other people and it's hard for us too. Also, don't take people's kindness for granted just because you've got a disability, Jane.
Are you kidding me right now? This is... I can't believe this. You're saying things like this? How could you say that to me? Your little sister. I never thought you'd ever say these things to me. I already know how I make people feel. I cause trouble for everyone because of my disability. I never thought I was normal, but I didn't think you'd go this far.
Okay, but anyway, I've been the one who's been closest to you. It was also hard for me, too. I always wanted to get away from you, so that's why I left home when I did.
Wait, what? Are you telling me that you left home because of me? Because life was so hard for you just because I can't move my legs?
I'm just trying to tell you that the world doesn't revolve around you and your disability, Jane. Everything in the house has always been about you, and I got sick of it. Come on, you're an adult now, so you should be able to understand where I'm coming from with all this, okay? You're not the only one who struggles.
Yes, but I don't put people down because they have an issue, but I get it. It's all my fault, right? I guess I was so overwhelmed with my disability then. You know, I'm really sorry, Travis. I obviously didn't realize that I was causing you so much trouble. I would have just stayed away if I knew. But I guess you really didn't want me to know, so you just left home early on so you didn't have to put up with me, right? I just got in your way, literally.
Well, yes, basically. I just wanted to not have to feel like I got no attention because of you, and I just got sick of having to look out for you all the time.
So you left home and now you basically want to cut all ties with me. Is that correct, Travis? You don't want anything to do with me anymore.
Since I know I can cut you out of my life now, maybe that's what I want to happen. If I do this, I'll be free from taking care of you and I'll have more freedom for myself.
Is that so? Fine. I get it. You want nothing to do with me? So be it, Travis. If that's the case, then I guess we're no longer siblings anymore. First Ava and now you. Great. Well, hey there, Jane. I was just wondering if you've seen the wedding photos. The hall is still getting set up, but it looks gorgeous. Many people will be blessing me from now on. Hello, Ava. Yes, I've seen some of the photos. The dress looks so beautiful. The hall looks so big, and I'm sure getting it set up is really difficult. Of course, it's taken a lot of preparing, and it has cost a lot of money. After all, today is the day that I'll be the star. It's my wedding, so it makes sense. Oh, I forgot to ask earlier, but I'd really appreciate it if you could send me some money as a gift. You'll also bless this marriage, right? I'm expecting that much. All you've really got to do for now is send me some money, but also to not set foot into the ceremony until everything is over. That's all I wish for. Well, I think you got your wish by telling me to stay at home, Ava. You said that it would be better for you if I did, so I'm sitting here feeling like crap. Oh, come on. I had to sacrifice some people since I'm so popular, you see? I've got a lot of guests coming. We no longer have to take care of you, so we're free now. It's been a long time coming, this ceremony, and trying to get you out of my life. I'm just so glad that this could all happen. It was definitely worth it. You know, Ava, I've never forced you to take care of me at all, so I don't know what you're talking about. I thought you were doing it out of the kindness of your heart. I guess not. Of course you were wrong. I wouldn't do that. I needed to get what I wanted and then accomplish my goals that I had. Wasn't it obvious to you? Anyway, we've known each other since middle school, but you were just a stepping stone to what I really wanted, your brother. Having to take care of you from that age to try and get some brownie points with your brother and his family was super annoying to me. But I no longer have to do that anymore, so I'm not going to hold back my opinions about you. People like you should just disappear from society. How dare you say something so cruel about disabled people? I never asked for this to happen to me. I can't help who I am physically. However, I'm glad that you got to get out your true feelings about me, Ava. All of our memories together were fake, and I don't regret anything I say from now on. You know what I want now, Ava? I want you to be the one that disappears from my life, since you've decided to be so horrible to me about our friendship. What on earth are you talking about, you stupid little woman? I haven't got a clue what you're trying to get at. Do you seriously think you can do anything to me from your wheelchair? Besides, unlike your kind who have many disabilities, I'm popular with everyone. Even if you were to disappear, no one would miss you and they'd feel no pain over your absence.
Jane, you better have an explanation as to what's going on right now. None of our relatives have shown up to the wedding and I can't get a hold of them. You're in the house right now, aren't you? You've not left or anything like that, right? You've not heard anything from them, have you?
Why are you talking to me, Travis? Don't you know that we're no longer siblings and you're just a stranger to me now? Stop trying to contact me, Travis.
I don't have time to do this right now when I need to know what's going on. I'm not worried about this. I want you to just call our relatives. No one has shown up to the ceremony.
Well, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to help you with this. Why don't you try and solve this problem yourself, okay, Travis?
Huh? What's that supposed to mean? You're the only one who wasn't invited, so I'm sure you're the one who's up to something. Tell me what's going on.
You do realize that normally no one would want to celebrate the marriage of a couple who abandoned the sister in the wheelchair, right?
Wait, what? What do you mean by that? Are you saying that no one showed up because you aren't coming to the wedding? This is insane.
I'm not coming because you were the ones that didn't invite me in the first place. I didn't get an invite to the wedding, so of course Mom and Dad got a bit suspicious. So in the end, I showed them the messages that you and Ava had been sending me about why I wasn't invited to the wedding. I told them what was going on.
What? Why would you do that? Did you literally show them what messages we sent to you? Don't you know anything about privacy? You showed them my messages without permission?
No one would believe me unless I showed them what you actually said to me. They were both in shock when I showed them what you said. They were horrified, actually. They had an inkling that you were growing dissatisfied with me existing in your life. Then I said how you rejected me as a sister and saw how you discussed that with me. They were both crying and in shock at how you talked to me. They said how a child grows up as the parent's fault because of how they were raised.
But I don't understand what this has got to do with today's ceremony. They need to forget about this and get to the venue. Why aren't they coming?
All of us came to the same conclusion, that if you told me not to come to the ceremony, then neither will they. They obviously know what you said was so wrong. I knew I had to tell them as I could no longer hold it in. I told them, but it was always up to them whether they wanted to go to the wedding ceremony or not.
But it doesn't make any sense to me what's happening here. Like, why haven't Anna's relatives come to the ceremony? You've done something, haven't you? You little weasel.
Well, from the perspective of our parents, what Ava said was nothing but cruel and disgusting. The comments she said were targeting me and others with disabilities, right? As a parent, I think it's natural for them to be angry about someone hurting their daughter's feelings. Dad got so angry that he barged into Ava's house. But that wasn't the way to have a proper discussion about this, so of course it would be better to do this another day since you're busy getting married.
Are you kidding me? Dad actually barged into her house? Is that what actually happened? I haven't heard of that happening. What the heck is his problem?
You know, I can never say more than a few details to a stranger, Travis, but both of her parents cried and apologized for how their daughter treated me. They said that they knew that she had a few flaws in her personality, but they never thought that she'd say horrible things to a friend like me. Especially since we've known each other for such a long time and looked out for me. They couldn't apologize more for what Ava said. They weren't barely audible, apparently. But here's the thing I don't get. Even though her parents are quite nice people, how did she turn out so horrible? They sincerely apologized, and I thought it was strange. Considering their daughter has not said one remorseful thing to me, of course, as parents, they take full responsibility for making a child into such a horrible person. They all decided mutually not to go to the ceremony because of how Ava has treated me in the last few months, and I don't blame them for not going today.
Are you for real, Jane? How dare you tell them what we said? Everything's going to be completely ruined now. You've ruined everything we planned. There's no way they wouldn't come to the wedding just because of something small like this, right? How can you take what I said so seriously?
Well, you should have thought about what you wanted to say before you said it, Travis. They couldn't go because they couldn't bless their daughter's marriage to you. It's already falling to pieces. I'm starting to notice that now. No one's congratulated you on your upcoming wedding. No one seemed to be pleased with this marriage. Even if you tried to contact them to get them to come over, they won't. Everyone knows about Ava's discriminatory remarks, and no one will come to the wedding.
But this can't be happening right now. How can they do this to us? It was only a joke, really. It's not really how we feel. Tell them to come here now.
Look, I'm aware that my existence has caused you to also have a difficult time with your life, but Ava has made you realize this in such a horrible manner. She's good at getting under people's skin when it comes to the negative emotions, but it's still obvious that you care about her. So from now on, please live with her. We don't want you coming back here. You're not welcome here. You've said some horrible things, and your new wife has made you into a horrible person, Travis. Don't even count on me for everything that happens to you in the future. I am no longer your baby sister. From now on, I'm an only child. Goodbye, Travis. This is an absolute catastrophe. I can't believe this is happening to me right now. This is all your fault, you stupid little cow. This wedding's been ruined because of you. I am absolutely disgusted by what you've done. Obviously, it's a no-brainer, but I want compensation for this. You have ruined my special day. Hey, you're the one who started this whole thing in the first place. You're the one to blame for how you've talked to me. All I did was speak up about it to my parents. You were the one who let loose on how you actually felt about people with disabilities. You're the one who was being cruel and discriminatory towards me. Oh, shut up, you stupid woman. I'm not kidding around here. You ruined my day. I shouldn't have had to worry about disabled people like you taking my spotlight. I should have been the one getting pampered by all of the attention from our families, their gifts, and people surrounding me trying to get my attention. My reputation has been ruined because of you. I'm finished. I'm just a nobody who's nothing but harsh on other people. This is the worst thing ever. What on earth are you talking about? You brought this on yourself. If you knew you were horrible to others, you should have learned to be more kind to people. Because you're a disabled person, my life has been ruined. Even if you say you didn't do anything, you'd think someone would help me. I've never lived through hardship. Do you seriously think that you'd benefit from trying to cut me out of this wedding? You've been dissing a disabled person for the entire time you've known me behind my back. Huh? What the heck are you talking about? I'm talking about how you ruined my wedding today for telling our families about the conversation we had. Because you were bullying me for being disabled, Ava. You started this, and I am not kidding about this anymore. How dare you say what you said to me? As soon as I entered middle school, I suddenly became ill and I lost the ability to move my legs. Did you know that I needed surgery to cure what was happening to me? Do you even know that I had no control over what was going on with my body? Do you really think I asked to be in a body like this? How could you go against what I've been through? But you've ruined how things should be. I had to pretend to like you for so long, and you ruined my plan. If you're telling me that you'd be fixed after surgery, why aren't you? Because the surgery had a really low chance of succeeding. Also, if it completely failed, I'd never be able to walk ever again. How dare you just say this with so much ease? You've got no idea what I was dealing with. The cost of having the surgery was going to be so expensive. But if I was given the choice to fix my legs, I would take that opportunity right away. I didn't ask to be disabled, you horrible woman. But you've been so unkind when it comes to not letting me have the attention. Why couldn't you have given me at least one day, Jane? Do you seriously not give a damn about anyone but yourself? You're the most selfish person I have ever met, and you're the one who got all of the attention. It wasn't me, as people would push my chair out of the way just so that they could see and talk to you. Don't you see what's happened to me, Ava? I could no longer play or hang out properly with my friends. I even needed help just to get on public transportation. I had no choice but to rely on people. It is so difficult to go out alone, and I can't just easily go for a walk to improve the mood I'm in. It's not as easy as it is for someone who has functioning limbs, Ava. There is absolutely no way you can understand the misery of being unable to live without the help of other people, Ava. You'll never know what it feels like. Well, I'm still trying to enjoy my life here, so stop trying to rain on my parade with your sob story of how you got stuck in that chair. I can't help you with that. You enjoying your life? Well, as you should be, since you're a fully functioning human, you stupid idiot. I knew you were enjoying life because I was watching it. I was watching it from my wheelchair, and I do every day when I see people walking around and doing daily tasks that I can no longer do. I am desperately trying really hard to keep my nerves at bay, but you make me unbelievably angry. I can't believe I ever had a friend like you in my life. Excuse me? What did you just say? You should be grateful that I stuck around for as long as I did, Jane. No one wanted to be your friend at all. Probably because they saw how horrible you are and didn't want to come near me because they were scared of you. If anything ruined my friendships, it's you, Ava. My family and some friends encouraged me to keep going as I am, but I understood that I could never live on my own without some sort of assistance. That's why I try to do my best with the life I've been given. I act nicer than most people because I want to be a good person and live my life in a careful manner. If I was abandoned by everyone I know, I wouldn't be able to live or survive this life. I would break down in tears if I couldn't complain to anyone or if I was in any pain. If I didn't do what I did and be brave about it, I might have had everyone abandon my side, and I would be all alone while you both got married to each other. I have always had so much anxiety when it came to who would care about me and want to stick around. Don't act like this just because no one showed up today. You are so arrogant. You've never had to live with a disability or with the fear that someone might leave you and never come back. You deserved what happened today. What the heck? How could you turn around and act like this towards me when I used to be such a good friend to you? I suppose you were wary of people around you then. Of course I was, and I was allowed to be, especially with how you and my brother have treated me in recent times. But I still have many important people around me. They continue to support me and listen to what I've had to say, unlike you and Travis. I have been blessed with friends who are there for me, and I can go to them about any complaints I have. You know, I really thought that you were one of those people I could go to for anything, Ava, but it seems like I was very wrong in thinking that. To be honest, the shock of being betrayed by you was huge. I never thought that you'd do anything like that to me. I thought you'd been brought up better, Ava. But if you're going to cut me out of your life, then you're nothing but a stranger to me, Ava. I'll show you no mercy, okay? I'll destroy you in every way possible. Shut up, you good-for-nothing woman. You're nothing but a disabled person who can't do anything. I don't care about you. All I want is my money, so give it to me. Excuse me? I should have known that I said all that for nothing. You really don't listen to anyone, do you, Ava? What money are you talking about anyway? Because of you and the actions you've taken today, my wedding was ruined as none of the relatives have shown up and they've cut off all their support. I won't be able to pay for all the wedding expenses and I'll end up in massive debt. It'll be bad if you don't pay quickly, so you better pay for my wedding. Oh, I get what you're saying. It seems like this extravagant wedding has cost you quite a bit of money, hasn't it, Ava? But you shouldn't really be getting into debt in the first place just to spend money on a wedding, okay? That's kind of a dumb thing to do, Ava. How about you do something about that yourself? If you're the one having money troubles, then it should really be you who should be fixing the problem. Hey, we really need to talk, Jane. Up until now, I've been taking good care of you, okay? Please just pay me $15,000 for all the troubles you've caused. That includes telling our parents what we were talking about, which caused them to not show up. That completely ruined my wedding, so pay up. I've helped you out so much with things like carrying luggage around and pushing your wheelchair so we could get to places faster. You never said thank you for that. Are you kidding me with these messages, Ava? You know I don't remember getting help for any of those things you said. I don't know what you're on about. Huh? Are you denying what I did for you? Are you serious? Is this really what you say to someone who has gone out of their way to help you? Well, recently you've been nothing but horrible to me, Ava, so I don't get how you can make me do anything at this point. I'm quite capable of moving my wheelchair. I never asked you to help me with it at all. Plus, you always moved the luggage or whatever you carried to odd places where I couldn't reach it at all. You were such a pushover when it came to the fake kindness you were trying to show me. It was actually kind of infuriating and it bugged me so much. Excuse me? What on earth are you talking about? I am nice to everyone. I was just getting so sick of taking care of you and not getting anything back for it. You shouldn't have to get anything back from it if it's out of the kindness of your own heart, but to be honest, I don't think you've got a heart at all, Ava. You've got some guts asking me for money when I've not done a single thing to harm your wedding. All I did was go to your parents and mine about my problems. They were the ones that made their own decision about whether or not to go to your wedding. They obviously knew that what you said was so terrible. So of course they chose not to go, and they'll never accept you as part of their family again. Don't even think for a second that I did anything to you when you started it all. But you can't just blame this all on me. At least I was being honest about how I feel, but you need to pay me back or you'll be sorry. I'll take you down and it won't be pretty. I'd love to see you try, but you can't do anything to me anymore. I'm a nice person and I know the difference between what is right and what is wrong. If you try coming anywhere near me, I'll call the cops and you'll be thrown into a jail cell. No one likes it when you say derogatory things to people with disabilities. You'll not get out of what you've done to me easily. You're the worst person I have ever met, and I hope that you're smart enough in not contacting me ever again. After the so-called gorgeous wedding that was supposed to take place, Ava is now up to her ears in debt, and Travis has abandoned her after she made the situation worse for them. Travis is demanding alimony from Ava. It seems like she's been working at night and is living alone with no one to help her. Oh well, she deserves it. She's always been good at sneaking into people's lives and playing nice. What a fake thing to do. Now she's become more isolated from people like her parents and other friends because they heard what she said to Jane about her disability. She's not had many customers and no peace of mind. She eventually got arrested for trying to steal money from a customer. Jane ended up getting surgery on her legs. It was a great success, and now she's getting physical therapy to help her get her strength back. Although it's been a long and difficult rehabilitation process, she'll be able to walk again and show off her legs to her brother. She'll work hard to achieve this goal.
Madeline, is it true that your boyfriend is a doctor? I was hearing that from a few of the other workers today.
Ruby, you heard about that from them?
I knew it was true then. What is with this, gosh dang it? I love to gossip about other people's love lives. So, next time when you go out telling people, make sure to include me. I'm sure you weren't trying to hide any of this from me, right?
Well, no, but this isn't something that everyone in the whole company needs to hear about.
Huh? Why not, though? You have a boyfriend who's a doctor now, making your future very safe. You should be going around the office bragging about something like that, right?
Well, I'm sure that my boyfriend's a very amazing man and all that, but I don't think he's the kind of guy that I need to be bragging about here.
Huh? What the heck? You telling me that you're trying to be some modest woman now? If I were you, I'd be bragging every which way around here. So, where did the two of you end up meeting?
You could call him a friend of one of my friends from college. They were nice enough to introduce me to him and such.
What? I should have known you had someone to show you to him. But man, I don't have anyone around me that could show me to some kind of doctor who wants to date. Everyone in my group is below me.
Well, I'm sure that not many people are friends with doctors on such close levels. If you keep thinking that everyone's below you, you'll miss the right man for you, right?
Huh? What the heck? Are you trying to act like my mom right now, telling me crap like that? Well, good for you. You have yourself a doctor for a boyfriend now. You feel like you're above me now, so of course you'd try to give me some insight.
I'm not trying to act above you or anything. I'm just trying to recommend that you treat those in your group with a bit more respect. And if you do that, instead of saying they're below you, you might have a better chance at finding someone to date. I think you're the only one that's acting above everyone else now.
What? There's no way. I know that the truth is you have to have amazing people around you to introduce you to even more amazing people. Right? And since I need myself someone amazing to show me around, can you introduce me to your boyfriend?
Huh? What do you mean by that?
I mean exactly what I said. Introduce me to your boyfriend. Then he will be able to show me to one of his single doctor friends.
Oh, that's what you mean.
What? Did you get all worried there for a second? Were you getting scared that I might come and steal your boyfriend from you? Stop that, please. I would never do something like that to anyone.
That doesn't seem very authentic of you, though.
Does this mean you're talking about Allie? Well, about that, it just happens that her boyfriend fell in love with me. I didn't do anything to take him from her.
Is that so? I'm sorry, but I don't really trust you on that one yet. Well, it's over now, so I shouldn't ask you any more about it.
Anyway, show me to your boyfriend, please. I only have so much time left before I need to get married, okay?
Hold on, though. Whatever happened with you and Allie's ex? Weren't you dating him?
I'm over him now. He wasn't making that much money compared to a lot of other people. And I just never saw him getting anywhere else in life. So, I want to find someone better to jump onto.
What? That right there is terrible, Ruby. After taking her boyfriend from her, you just went and dumped him after a few months? And saying that you want to jump onto someone else now? Don't you think that what you've done has caused a lot of harm for others already?
Why are you asking me all of these things? Wait, was she some kind of friend to you? Well, I'll just tell you now that I didn't mean anything bad by doing that. This is a world where love is the most powerful emotion, right? If she wanted to keep him around with her, then maybe she should have tried harder to show her love for him, right?
I'm not saying anything like that. I just think that what you've done to someone like her was not okay. And that I feel bad now that you didn't even hold on to her ex afterwards.
You're kind of crazy, Madeline. You're a bit scary as well. If you keep talking like that about other people's situations, you're going to die young. I can see already that you're stressing over things like that. And those wrinkles on your face aren't receding anytime soon. So be careful.
Whatever. Either way, I am not showing my boyfriend to you. Just try your best to go out and find a high-level man that you think would be interested in you.
Huh? Well, if you say so. All right. I'll do everything in my power to find my high-level man. Now that I think about it, are you okay, Madeline? There hasn't been anything else upsetting you, right? I think by this point you can say something to the police about him.
Please do. Allie, you've been worried about me? Thank you. But look, I'm feeling a lot better now. He's started to slow down a bit recently, so I think I can begin to relax again.
Is that so? Thank goodness. But make sure not to be negligent of what he can do. You've already started to get ready to move into your man's house now, right?
Yeah, I've already gotten everything packed up. I actually plan to move to his place tomorrow.
That fast, huh? Perfect. If you have anything you need my help with, just ask. I have a lot of time on my hands, so I can be there anytime. Like tomorrow, I can be over there right after work to help out.
Thank you. I'm sure if I have anything for you, I'll ask. When I do, you'd better be here.
Sure thing.
Also, now that we're talking a bit here, there's something else I should mention. Ruby was at the bus stop that I get off at normally a few days ago.
Why the hell is she going to your bus stop now? Please don't tell me that she's really trying to get to your boyfriend that badly.
Well, I think that's what she's been up to.
But why does she know about your boyfriend? I thought everyone was keeping that a secret from her.
Well, apparently a week ago she was listening in on a conversation that a couple of other workers were having, and she was able to hear something about him.
Wait, what? What the hell is wrong with her? Does she not have anything else she could be doing besides stealing people's boyfriends? She needs to learn to go out and find a man of her own instead of taking ours.
She really does. And what do you think she said to me back then? She told me that love is the strongest emotion in the world, but she never seems to have it herself.
The hell does she think she's talking about? She's probably never loved someone in her life, that thieving whore.
Exactly. But at least after what she'd done to you, you found yourself a better man and are happy, right?
That's right. I'm very happy now with my new boyfriend. And that's why I don't give a crap about Ruby or my screwed up ex. But hearing that she's still trying to steal other people's boyfriends just makes me feel all angry inside again.
Well, I can understand that. But to be honest, your ex is also very lucky, because after being stolen from you by her, she ended up leaving him as well.
What the heck? Oh, thank goodness for that. I'm sure that in my ex's case, he wasn't really into her anyway either. And was more or less just bored with me and wanted to try something different. That's how a lot of men are. And why they are stolen by that freak so easily. I should really thank Ruby, actually, for taking that guy out of my life.
Right? Any man that's able to slip up and be taken away that easily is far too dangerous to keep around. And that's probably why Ruby has gotten so far invested in her game, is because there are a lot of men willing to jump ship for her out of boredom. But what's crazy is that she seems to do it out of jealousy more than actual love.
Oh, she's just that type of idiot girl. She keeps that game up, she'll never truly be happy with whatever man she's with. All the men she ends up taking are cruddy themselves. Listen to me dissing Ruby and my ex like this.
But you're right about what you're saying. That ex of yours, just like a lot of other men, really did seem like the type to mess around with other women.
Jeez.
She asked me to introduce her to my boyfriend. But do you actually think I'd do something like that with the history she has?
Who would ever introduce their boyfriend to her? That's just her way of getting ready to steal him from you, right? But I know that your boyfriend isn't the type to leave you for her.
I doubt he would. He's seen a lot of women like her that are all into men's money, but he hates all of them.
In this day and age, there are all kinds of women like Ruby, actually, that are only into men for their money.
Right? They might all look cute, but everyone knows their goals.
I guess Ruby really is the type to keep on stealing other men because those who actually have money will never settle for her. And if they did, I wonder what would happen.
Well, anyway, if something between her and I happens again, I'll let you know.
Madeline, were you planning on getting married to your boyfriend? In other words, you and him are engaged?
What are you talking about right now? Ah, you're right. He and I are engaged to one another, but we only just got engaged recently, so...
Is that so? Well, then I'm seriously sorry about what's happened. I might have accidentally stolen another man again.
Huh? What are you really talking about here?
I've just gotten engaged to the man you've been together with. I really am a pain in all you guys' butts now, aren't I? I've once again gone and stolen another man from you older women at work. I'm so sorry.
Huh? What are you actually going on about right now, Ruby? I really don't think you've stolen my man from me.
I understand the feeling of not wanting to grasp the scary reality that's in front of you. But him and I are going to have a gorgeous wedding that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm jumping for joy right now thinking about it.
This isn't about me grasping reality or not.
But this is the truth, so you're going to have to get real about it. And so I'll tell you once more. I'm sorry, but I've stolen your doctor fiancé from you. But I am thankful that an old woman like you would be willing to give him to me without fighting at all.
Are you certain that that's really my boyfriend that you've taken? And actually, where did you first run into him?
I met him right in front of your house. Don't you remember running into me at the bus stop near your house when we both looked the other way from one another?
Well, you seemed pretty upset to see me back then, Ruby.
Well, after running into you like that, I thought I'd take a trip over to your house. And so I followed you home.
That right there is you telling me you're a stalker, then. Why didn't you just talk to me more if you had something to say?
Well, I just didn't want to deal with you at the time. But after following you to your house, I was able to write down where it was before going home myself. I had other plans, so I couldn't do anything on that day.
This is a really odd story. So you stalked me to find my house and then wrote down the address to come back another time? That sounds like the making of a criminal.
Don't call me something like that. But hey, because I was able to come and find your house, I was able to meet your boyfriend later on. And I heard you and him got into a fight. How awful. You kicked him out of the house and everything.
Huh? I don't ever remember a thing like that with my boyfriend, though.
Well, he was just standing there in front of your house, pacing back and forth. And so I went up to him and asked what had been happening. That's when he told me you got into a fight with him and kicked him out of the house. And right then and there, I picked him up and took him home with me.
I see what's going on now.
All I had to do was be a little kind to him, and he immediately came running after me. So now, I'll be taking him as my boyfriend. Thank you so much for giving me your fiancé and doctor.
And thank you very much as well. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, because that man was a complete bother to me.
Stop trying to be all tough about this. I'm sure that you're shocked by all of this and are finding it hard to catch a breath. Sorry. A young and beautiful woman like me can never lose to an old hag like you.
No, I'm seriously thankful for what you've done. That man has been stalking me for months now.
Huh? What do you mean?
That guy's been following me everywhere for the past few months now. I had been trying to tell the police about him, but I've had little evidence. And so I moved out of my old house and am living in my fiancé's home. Actually, it was the day of me moving into his house that he proposed to me.
Wait a second. What do you mean? I haven't ever been over to his house yet, but...
That guy you're with probably doesn't even have a job right now. And if he does, he's probably working minimum wage and stalks all kinds of women daily. I think me being a bit too nice to him before is what got him so interested in me. He was the cashier at a gas station I stopped at, and maybe he's a sucker for nice women.
You're lying, right? But he's a doctor.
Did he say that? Well, that's a blatant lie. Probably just said that to get you to fall in love with him. Telling you he works an amazing job that was all too easy for him, right? Just like you'd done when you took Allie's boyfriend from her. Well, good luck, because he's been a really persistent stalker with me.
This is all lies. You're just trying to get me all worked up now because you're a sore loser, right? Him and I have already handed in our marriage paperwork to the city office and everything now. And I was planning on becoming a housewife and already told the company I quit.
Wait, what? Sucks for you. Well, I'm sure you'll know very soon if I'm telling the truth or not.
Wait. If you're actually telling the truth, then I'm actually screwed, right? I've already started talking about having a wedding with him.
Well, it's your fault for thinking you can just steal other people's boyfriends like that. But you both like to stalk other people, so I think you'll be a great couple. Maybe try your best to save up whatever money the two of you can for that expensive wedding. I hope that a whore like you gets whatever happiness is left for you after what you've done to people. After that, Madeline was able to distance herself a bit from Ruby and had an amazing wedding with her husband, and was then able to leave her job and become a housewife. There she was able to begin the dream she had always been chasing after. Never had to really look back at the past that Ruby had been trying so hard to keep her in. I'd say that this time, Madeline really did dodge the worst bullet anyone could be hit by, and she did so without even getting a scratch in the end. But as for Ruby, she was not willing to marry the stalker anymore, as she began to learn very quickly that he was going to be more than just a burden on her shoulders. Before the wedding could even begin, he was saying creepy things to Ruby, that even for a girl like her who had very little brain cells began to really turn her off, and so she ended up canceling the wedding with him. However, she wasn't going to get away without paying the cancellation fee, and so went into extreme debt with all of the loans she had to take out. And it wasn't just the cost of canceling the wedding that she had to pay either, as the stalker also asked that she pay him back for breaking their engagement promise with one another. And if she didn't, he'd make sure she never got to see the end of things between them. So it's going to be a long time before Ruby can pay off all the loans she's taken out. And I'm sure that'll keep her anchored in the hell she asked for. And as for there being anything to force both Ruby and Madeline to be around each other, there is nothing, as the both of them have left their jobs at the office, so neither one of them will ever have a chance to talk to one another anymore. Therefore, not many people really know about what's happened to Ruby after going into such terrible debt and running off. It's funny to think that she got off so much to making other women feel horrible by stealing their boyfriends, but is now feeling the worst after getting what she'd asked for. I'm at least sure that now men are no longer on the mind of Ruby, as she tries to find a way out of the hell she's fallen into. And that's okay, because no man, or woman, would ever want to have someone like Ruby chasing after them, because we all know now that she's bringing nothing but bad news with her.
So, you're going to be coming here for the 4th as well, I hear. I heard that from Max, but there has to be some kind of a miscommunication here, right?
Good evening, Irene. There was no miscommunication there, but why would you think that?
Well, this time it's just going to be the family coming out here. Why would Max be bringing a stranger along with him to our family gathering? Don't you find that a little strange of him to think he'd need to do that?
Irene, I already know about how you hate me incredibly for no real reason besides just hate. But I've been married to Max for 3 years now, so can you please give all of that up? And I have been coming to your guys' house for the past 2 years for the 4th of July. You can call me a stranger all you want, but I'm still a part of your family, whether you like it or not.
What? You really think of yourself as part of this family? I don't ever remember thinking of you as being in our family.
Is that so? All right then, Irene. But this time I am once again coming there with my husband, so please expect the both of us. We'll be staying for 2 days there.
I know you want to be here so that you can get all of the high-end foods we'll be eating, right? You truly are such a sad sight.
That is not my reason for coming along this year. That's never been my reason for coming out to your house at all. Something like the 4th has always been a family event for you guys, and I feel it wouldn't look good to make me stay at home during that event while Max goes there. There also happens to be your husband and the rest of the family who would like to see me, so please don't ruin the rest of our fun by making me stay away.
You say that like anybody actually wants to see you when you're coming to stay the night in our gorgeous house. There's no way any of my family wants you here besides Max, and that is why you're a stranger to us. You don't even understand how difficult it is for us to set this whole gathering up.
Well, if you'd like some help with the preparations, I can come and help. If it's things like cooking or cleaning the house, I can come and take care of all of that for you. That's what I was planning on telling you before you started to text me today. I even said that last year when I came along, but you told me you didn't want my help.
I said I didn't want your help because I know you're useless. So stop trying to act like a good wife to this family when you are good for nothing. I have no idea why my son and my husband happen to like you so much when the rest of this family knows better than that. We all know you are a waste of this family's time and that you can never help anyone. Seriously, why does my husband have to be so happy whenever the topic of discussion is you? And it's been 3 years already, yet you have not given birth to any kids.
Max and I haven't had any kids yet because we have a time in which we plan to try. So please stay out of something as personal as that is to us.
And a wife like you that can't bear any children for her husband's family is a waste of time, yet you still feel as though you can come out to our family gathering on the 4th, all because you feel you can come here and eat all our food that I'll be making. You make me sick, Lucille.
I really don't think you should be saying things like that about me. Like I said, I'm aware that you hate me and don't want anything to do with me, but we only ever have to do something like this twice a year, so please just act nice and I'll reciprocate that feeling as well. And I'll keep saying this to you because I should, and that's that I'll help you with anything you need. So if you have anything for me to do, please let me know.
There is nothing a useless wife like yourself can do, though. Now, if you really, really want to come out to my house that badly, then come right over. But you will learn to regret making that choice this time, so I'd give up on this if I were you.
Please don't say anything scary like that to me, all right? I still plan on coming with Max. I really want to just be calm around one another and get this whole 4th of July over with. Therefore, would you please play nicely with me just for those 2 days? I have to get going now, Irene.
Did something happen between you and my mom today?
Well, what happened today is your mom made it very clear to me that she doesn't want me coming with you to your parents' house.
So that's what's going on now.
Did she bring anything up with you today?
Well, just a bunch of crap again, but the same old, same old.
She seems to have a rather odd hobby of always talking poorly about me. But I'd really love it if this time she could just play nice with me for a couple of days. I only have to really meet with her twice a year, and I always offer to help her with any preparations she needs to get done.
But I think this time we'll be all right, Lucille. I've talked with her myself this time, and she said she needs to cut it out when it comes to how she harasses you.
I see, but Max, I'm not sure she cares about what you have to say. Your mom really, really hates me with a passion. And I just have this anxiety now where I worry she'll never ever come to even grounds with me being your wife and a part of the family.
But my dad isn't going to give her any more chances if she acts up. My dad knows that my mom has been a pretty terrible person. He can't watch it happen anymore. So I really do believe that this time he will not let her get away with it.
I really do hope that's the case.
You don't have to worry, alright? Also, my mom loves to make herself look good in front of my family, so as long as someone is around you two, she shouldn't act up anymore. This time, a lot of my family will be coming, so you should be in good hands. You can relax and stay by me if you want, so that you feel safe and can eat all you want.
But Max, she told me that she thinks the only reason I'm going back to her place is to eat all her food. After being told that, I don't want to eat anything anymore.
You really do not have to worry yourself this time, Lucille. I've already talked with her once, and she seemed to get the message, so I'm not going to say anything else to her, because that might start annoying her. But no matter what happens there, I'll be around to protect you. My dad and the rest of the family all really appreciate you a ton, and want to make you happy. You can just forget about my mom being a jerk and enjoy the 4th of July.
If you think it's really okay for me to stop thinking about her, then I'll do that. But if she comes up and says anything else to me or treats me in any way that's outright wrong, I'm not going to hold back. I've already had to put up with enough from her, so I'm really at my limit.
And if that happens, I'll be right there with you. So please, relax.
Well, hearing that from you does make me feel a little better. All right, I'll try to focus on not worrying as much about her and instead looking forward to being around the rest of your family. I went and warned you so much, yet you still chose to show up here? So this is what they mean by saying one gets all fired up, because I am fuming right now. Irene, the way you just behaved there was not okay at all. And it was very hurtful towards me doing that. All you did was sit there talking to me about how much you hated me and listed off every single thing you dislike. Then when it came to lunch, you had nothing prepared for me to eat while everyone else got a full plate. Well, of course that's how I'm going to behave with you. You're the one that came into my home again when I never ever wanted you here. So you're telling me you're going to keep treating me this way as long as I'm here? And that you purposefully made sure I didn't have anything to eat for lunch? Huh? Oh, you really are being audacious right now by talking to me like that. You already know my answers, don't you? Had you really wanted something to eat for lunch today, why didn't you come over to me and ask for a plate? Stop acting like I meant everything I did today when you should have communicated with me more. Are you that stupid or something? Wait, what do you mean I should have come to you and asked for a plate? Nobody else was going to you to ask for a plate, so why should I have had to? Because you are not a part of this family. And that means you don't get to have access to the same high-end food the rest of this family gets. But not bringing me any food at all is completely messed up. And what's so bad about that? You seem to have fattened up again, so you need to lose some weight. You didn't need any of that lunch today. Tonight we will be having steaks and lobster. However, all you'll be getting is some ground beef. Are you kidding me, Irene? So you really didn't want me coming to your house today. A fat ass like yourself can have steak sauce for dinner. Irene, I can see you're having a grand time there picking on me, but I'm really reaching my limits with you over here. Can you start thinking about what you're going to say to me before you speak? What are you saying? You're the one who has come to my house and now relies on me to eat and sleep. If you don't like the way I talk to you and the way I treat you, then get the hell out of my house. I would not be bothered by you leaving one bit. And how do you think anyone else here would notice you're gone? Of course not, because nobody cares about a useless wife like you. The rest of the family is all here to eat really good food and watch the fireworks this weekend. Now, you can come and join us for dinner in a little bit, but remember that the only thing you'll be given to eat is some steak sauce that you can lick from the plate. I'm going home. And don't you ever come back here again. I don't need to, because I am literally at my limit and cannot be asked to deal with you anymore. So I'm going to head home now, and you will never have to worry about me again. In other words, I'm cutting ties to you. Go right ahead and do that. And when you say you're cutting ties to us, you also mean you'll cut ties to Max, right? You're getting as far away from my whole family as you can, right? You really think I meant your whole family when I said that? No, I'm only cutting ties to you, Irene. Everyone else will still be able to talk with me. But this will be the end of me sending you guys any more money. What? What money have you been sending us? A lot. And now you will no longer be getting that money from me. I was originally doing it for the sake of your husband because he really needed help. I talked with Max about him and we agreed that we'd be sending him money once a month to help out. However, from here on out, we will no longer be sending you guys a penny. That's how I feel now about just how poorly you've been treating me.
What do you keep going on about right now? You are just making up lies about sending us stuff like that money. I'm not sure what amount you think you've been sending us, but I'm sure it's only Max who would be sending it if that's the truth.
Each month, $3,000.
What?
For the past year while I've been married to Max, we've been sending $3,000 each month. You've known about how your husband's company's been going under inch by inch every day. We found out about it as well and tried to do something to help him and his company out of that rut he's been sinking in.
What are you talking about? $3,000 a month? And my husband's company has been going under?
Maybe it's best that you didn't know anything about everything that's been going on. If you'd like to know, I was sending $2,000 a month and Max has been sending $1,000.
Huh?
I just got promoted not too long ago, and that means my salary has gone up a reasonable amount, meaning I can afford to give $2,000 each month. Because of that, though, I haven't really been able to save up as much money as I would have liked to. And that slowed down my plans of having kids.
What? You're not kidding.
So you had no idea about any of this, yet you continued to go on and on with your complaints about me to Max? And you've only made things worse by treating me the way you've been today. I'm fed up with you now, so consider our ties cut.
And that is totally fine with me. I'm sure that everything you're saying to me right now is all a stupid joke, but I'm not falling for it. You have to try harder than telling such unbelievable lies as those.
You have the right to believe me or not believe me, so go ahead and do whatever you want once I'm gone. But I will not be coming back here after I'm gone, and that will be the end of any money coming into your house. I hope you love living the rest of your life as a moneyless old woman. Bye-bye now.
Lucille, do you think you could talk with me for a second? By the way, where are you at right now?
Why does it matter to you where I'm at right now? I've already left your house, and I thought I made it very clear to you that our ties have been cut.
Lucille, how about you start by calming down first? I think there have been a few misunderstandings between you and I here, so let's work on clearing everything up between one another now. What do you think?
What was that? Things have already been made very clear between us now, so there's no need to talk through any of your misunderstandings. Goodbye now.
Wait, I'm not just talking about that. I heard a lot of things from both Max and my husband. It seems like I had a lot more misunderstandings of you than I had thought. You really had been sending my house all that money each month, along with my son, with the intent of helping my husband.
I made it clear to you earlier today, but you didn't seem to want to believe me. So I'm not sure why you want to talk with me about it now.
At the time, I really didn't think any of that could be true, but that's why I'm apologizing to you for all of it now, right? It was just a misunderstanding. Now, if you really do stop sending us money every month, things will really head downhill for my husband's company. That's not a good thing to do, I'm telling you. You'll be ending my husband's and my way of life by doing that.
I think you're still mistaken. It's not going to be you and your husband who can't live the life they've been living anymore. It'll just be you who suffers that fate.
What? What do you mean by that?
Because of all your uncontrolled spending, you have really made a dent in the money your husband has needed. He told you plenty of times that his company needed the money to stay upright, yet you never listened to him and understood. The only person who is really going to be affected by Max and I no longer sending money each month will be you.
Uncontrolled spending? I've not been wasting any money like you think I've been. It's just that I didn't know at the time how badly my husband's company had been suffering.
And do you know why that is? Because you never listen to anyone else and will only base your decisions off of the delusions you have. This is what you get for being so arrogant and selfish.
You do not have to speak to me like that because I get it already. And I have thought about all the wrongs I've done now and want to change. Also, I heard another thing from Max. You are pregnant right now, aren't you, Lucille?
And why does that matter to you, Irene? Like I was saying before, I've cut ties to you, so you won't ever get to see my baby or be a part of their life.
You being pregnant now matters a lot to me, though. I really do feel bad for the way I've been treating you this whole time. However, you're now going to be giving me a grandchild, so we can be close to one another. all right? And that means you can keep up with that monthly allowance.
No, thank you.
What?
You were already told what's going to happen now by Max, right? We both are completely cutting ties to you, like I already have. So there's no monthly allowance anymore. We might still be willing to send your husband some money, but that will only be going to him and cannot be given to you. You are never going to be getting another cent out of Max and I again. We will also be having our first child soon, so we have to have money for that. Which means we've been planning on stopping the money for a while now.
What the heck, Lucille? You think you can just abandon me now because you have a baby coming? Don't you dare tell me you plan on abandoning a poor old woman like myself now.
And what if that's exactly what I'm saying? Well, there is something else to that which you didn't mention. We are not abandoning some poor old woman, rather we are just cutting ties to you.
Wait, that's the exact same thing as what I'd said. You'll be putting my husband and I at a disadvantage by stopping that money.
You think I'd give a damn? Shut up already.
What?
You were always calling me things like fat and ugly. And then when I came over to your house to enjoy the holidays with the family, you harassed me. And today you went and embarrassed me in front of the whole family. You told me in front of everyone to lick steak sauce off my dinner plate when it came time for dinner. Don't you think it's natural for someone like me to never want anything to do with you again in their life?
I'm sure you don't want to deal with me anymore, but I've learned my lesson now. That's why I'm here right now apologizing to you and wish to continue my relationship with you.
Well, it's all too late for me to care about what you wish. I want you to know that I really do mean it when I say you will never get to see our baby, and you won't be receiving any more money from us. You won't ever see me again, and you won't be seeing your son anymore either.
And thank God for that. Lucille, you really can't go around saying things like that to an old lady with not much time left on this earth like me. Look, I even said that it was a misunderstanding on my part. Stop getting so upset over it.
Seems that you weren't expecting things to end up this way, and you're beginning to really freak out now. But I don't care if you've learned your lesson now, because you are far too late. I've cut ties to you, okay? That makes you nothing more than a stranger to me. Actually, you'd been calling me a stranger to you this whole time, right? Did you forget about that?
Lucille, I'm very sorry. All that happened was a couple of misunderstandings, so you don't have to take things that far. I'm really looking forward to having a grandchild now, and I would like to continue receiving money from you. Please.
Hey, who is it that I'm talking with right now? That's how I think of things right now. I've already talked with my husband about what's happening next, and he said he's on board with me cutting you out of our lives.
What? He really said that? I suppose he really was that upset with me earlier, but he's really not going to be cutting ties to me as well, right? Right?
He's very serious right now. You know your son better than I do, probably, so you understand that he never jokes around about these things. Which means he's right with me on this one.
But he's my son and I'm his mother. Do you really want to take my son away from me like that?
Do you have any idea who's to blame for everything that's happening now? If you put a little bit of thought into that, you'd have the answer. Anyway, I'm sure no matter what else I say to you now, you're not going to fully grasp your situation. And no matter what you have to say to me, I'm not budging. I will never, ever want a single thing to do with someone as toxic as you again.
No way. How dare my own son want to cut ties to me even? What the hell is wrong with you, woman?
Even after all you've been told, you're still going to blame me? That's a little bit more than just ridiculous, I think. Perhaps you've gone completely off the deep end now? Well, you can continue going crazy over there because you have nothing to do with me. And it sounds like you'll have nothing to do with most of your family now, since they all want to leave you as well. Once you've started to feel the pain of being left behind and exiled, you'll realize who's really been to blame for all this.
The rest of the family too now? What the hell are all of you saying I did? I was just taking the crap out of my son's back-talking wife for a little bit. Isn't it kind of cute for us to go back and forth like that?
Even if you were picking on me little by little, at some point I wasn't going to be able to take it anymore, and this exact same thing would happen. From now on, it would be best that you really put some thought into what you do and say before you act, all right?
Well, it's not like you'll be having to worry about upsetting your family anymore since they're all leaving you. So why even bother being careful now? Lucille, would you cut all of that out? Listen to what your damn mother-in-law has to say to you. Do as I say and come back here and talk to everyone about how this is a misunderstanding I had. And don't let Max think things like wanting to cut ties to me ever again. You also let me see your kid when they're born. These are all my demands. Your demands? Who the hell are you? I don't have to listen to a single word you say, so get lost. I'm out of here myself now. This means there's no point in messaging me anymore because I'm muting you now. Please let your husband know I'm still willing to talk with him, though. Now how about you go and lick some steak sauce or something, you old frickin' hag? Because of what my mother-in-law Irene did this time on with everyone around, the whole family was in disbelief. And from now on, she'll no longer be invited to any more of the family gatherings. Max's aunts and uncles all cut ties to her, as did her nieces and nephews, who all told her before the end of the holiday that she needed to get a life outside of picking on pregnant women. By the way, her husband told her that he'd be moving out and living in a separate place from her, and Max cut ties to her as well. Who knows what Irene will really be able to do next now that she's been completely pushed away by everyone. A little while after all of that happened, I gave birth to a happy and healthy baby girl, and her name is Lexi. Max and I both took some time off work to stay home with the baby and relax as much as two brand new parents could. And of course, like I'd been saying to Irene earlier, she'll never be allowed to see my baby. Anyone can see why something like that would be happening now, after all the hell she put me through mentally. Max would later talk with his dad about things like the company's future, and they came to the agreement that his dad would give him the company and would retire. So Max went and quit his job that he had at the time and started to make preparations for everything. Max later went back to his dad's house with him and started to work for him in an attempt to get his company back on the road again before he took over. And along with that, he helped his dad kick Irene out of the house entirely, and who knows where she'll be going now. She's far too old to be doing much about herself, so who's to say she's going to make it far in her older age now anyway? His dad will be selling that house soon and will be using all the money he gets to move away once he's given the company to Max, who will go live closer to his brothers. As for myself, I think I'll start going back to work in another couple of months here, and during that time, Max should be able to be back working from home as a CEO. I'm not sure if that's all going to work out for us just yet, since it depends on what Max and his dad can do for that company right now, but I have a lot of faith in them and look forward to things working out like everyone has planned.
Eliana, how late are you going to be out tonight? You hurry back to this house right now and start making me something to eat. Because you've been out of the house all day, my stomach has been in pain waiting for you to come back and cook. You really are the most useless woman ever if you're willing to let an older woman starve because you want to be out of the house all the time. I've been acting like your parent this whole time, so come home and show me the respect I deserve. I'm starving.
I'm sorry, Isla. But I'm at the hospital right now, though. I have had to stay here a bit longer than I was expecting, so I won't be home until late tonight. Could you please make something for yourself?
Huh? The hospital? Why are you of all people at the hospital right now?
You're asking me why I'm here? Because just a little while ago, you came at me with a boiling hot cup of tea and threw it on my face. And because of that, my right eye has had a really hard time staying open due to the swelling. The doctor has already had a look at it and said it might be very difficult for me to see out of my right eye for a while after today.
And what does that have to do with me?
What?
I don't care about any of that. Now you get your butt home right now and start making me dinner. You are so stupid. Who do you think you are going to the hospital like that without my permission first anyway? I don't ever remember saying I was okay with you leaving this house. Now you get back here. Now!
I'm sorry, Isla. While texting you, I was asked by the doctor to go with him and have some more exams done on me. He has done everything he can and gave me some medication and wraps to use to help my face and eye. I'm sorry.
It's about time. Making me wait for an hour for a response like that. I can't believe you did all of that without telling me. You really are nothing but trouble, Eliana.
I'm sorry for leaving the house without your permission, but Isla, why did you come out of nowhere with scalding hot tea and throw it at my face? Tell me, what did I end up doing wrong that required you to do such a thing to me?
You're asking me? Eliana, I threw that tea at your face because you said you were going to that wedding.
What?
You were going on about it being your little sister's wedding or something like that. But that would mean you'd leave this house, you daft idiot. And that's why I had to discipline you. You deserve to have your face burned and right eye screwed up.
You can't be serious. That is my sister, my one and only sister, and one of the last members of my family. That's why I wanted to go to her wedding.
Shut your mouth right now. I will not take that kind of talk from a complete stranger like you. I will have you thrown out of this house if you think you can slack off from your chores to be at your little sister's wedding. Now, if you still have any plans to go there, then go right ahead. But you will not be coming back to this house.
Understood. I'm sorry.
Don't you ever show me that kind of poor behavior ever again.
Kate, there's something I'm kind of wanting to ask you right now.
Oh, Eliana. Why are you texting me this late at night?
This has to do with your wedding tomorrow, actually. At the moment, I have a lot of bandaging around my face, covering my right eye. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people asking questions about me, and I might be taking their attention away from you, but would it still be okay for me to attend?
What? Your face is all bandaged up. What happened to you, Eliana? Did you get into a serious accident or something?
I really don't think I could call it an accident, but...
You're lying about that, right? There's no way. That's completely messed up. Nothing about that is normal for someone in your shoes to have to go through. Eliana, how are you normally being treated over at that household?
How am I normally being treated? I like to think this is how things are for me every day.
Are you kidding? So, you're telling me things like sustaining second and third degree burns on your face due to your mother-in-law is a common occurrence there?
Well, I'm sure what happens here isn't right. Actually, this was the first time I'd been hurt this badly by her. Normally, she'd just be pushing me down the stairs or throwing away my cooking and making me start again. There have also been times where she'd lock me in my room for a day or two.
She would lock you in your room for a day or two? None of that is anywhere close to normal, and it's outright dangerous. That is all absolutely screwed up. What you're having to go through. Nothing about that is normal. And what happened to your husband? He's living there with you as well, right? Has he not been saying anything to his mom about how she's treating you?
All he says to me is that things were a lot worse for him when he was younger, so I'm actually being treated pretty nicely by her.
Huh?
Well, I was always a little bit spoiled when I was younger, right? And that can be seen by how useless I am now, right? Well, my mother-in-law has stepped in for mom and dad and has been raising me the right way by disciplining me.
Wait a second. Are you actually being serious right now, Eliana?
Yes. I'm actually really thankful for what my mother-in-law has done for me. However, she told me that if I go to your wedding tomorrow, she would have me exiled from her house and that I'd never be able to go back there. That's left me feeling a little bit confused now. What should I do now? I'm not feeling good about either choice I have. I can't believe that someone as kind as her would say that she'd have me exiled from her house like that.
Eliana, put yourself together, please.
What?
Look, you and I, for the longest time now, we've both been raised with very different views of things from everyone else, right? I mean, Mom and Dad both beat us a lot when we were younger. And that's why we feel like we were always the bad children, and they were perfectly good parents. We never had the luxury of having loving parents. And we're told that all of our family members outside the house were fake, and just trying to tempt us away from them, right?
Well, they were, and that's why Mom and Dad never let us meet with any of them, because they were too kind.
Well, that was all wrong.
What do you mean?
My husband, when he learned about how much hell I'd been going through at home, he made sure to show me what a true loving family was. Him and his parents both gave me the warmth that my body had been needing from a family all my life. Right now I'm living with my husband's parents, right? Well, they have both done all they could to show me what having real, caring parents is like, and I thank them every day for that. When I come home to them, I scream out that I'm home and they greet me with hugs and kisses. That's the way normal families should be.
There's no way. That can't be true, right?
I'm sure. That's what you want to think, right? All right, I get it. At the moment, you don't want to go home to your family, right?
Not really. Actually, I don't think I can because of what my mother-in-law said.
Then you come to our house. I just spoke with my mother-in-law and she said it was totally okay for you to come here and stay the night with us. She said she'd even get the bath all warmed up and ready, although you might now want to go in if your face is burned.
What?
You're still out and not near your in-laws, right? If you tell me where you're at, I can ask my father-in-law to drive us out to come get you. So please, tell me, Eliana. How long have you been out of this house now without coming back? It's because you've been gone for so long now that the house is a mess. I'll forgive you for not coming home at all and making me my morning early breakfast. If you come home right now, you idiot woman.
I'm no longer going back to that house.
Huh? Do you have any idea what you're saying right now?
Today, I'll be at my little sister's wedding. Here, I'll be meeting with my real family and enjoying their presence. I even stayed with some of them last night, and that's where I learned what a true family is and how horrible things have been in that toxic environment you call your home.
What are you going on about? I am not here to listen to you go on about your delusions. So get home and start doing the chores right now.
I'm not going back. And since I'm a complete stranger, like you said, there's nothing I'm attached to there anymore.
Huh?
A while back, you threatened to have your son divorce me and even went out to get all the divorce papers filled out and ready to hand into the courthouse, right? Well, I took those from you after that day and have been holding on to them ever since. And just a little bit ago, I went and dropped them off at the courthouse before making my way to this wedding. So I am no longer a part of your family, fair and square.
What did you say?
I no longer am your son's wife, which means that you and I are now legally strangers to one another. I may have spent years taking loads of crap from you guys in that house, but I finally had enough of it last night and will no longer call myself your family. From now on, I'd like for you all to rot in hell there. I'm going to make sure that all those years of pain and torture you all put me through is thrown right back at you.
It's freaking pathetic watching you say things that don't make any sense at all to me. Did you seriously get a divorce from my son? I don't remember ever saying that you leaving my son was okay. I will not let you get away with doing something so selfish as that. Since I've been asking for you to come home all week, you haven't made even a single attempt to. I'm having all your things thrown out of your room right now. All of these lovely photos of you and your little sister together will all be thrown into the trash out back and burned up later. Is that really okay with you, Eliana? I'm sure that would break your heart, wouldn't it? Since you're now aware of what I'm willing to do, get your butt back to this house right now. If not, this is enough to make you understand just how much of a screw-up you've been. Then I'll have to take even more drastic measures.
Go ahead. If you want to toss all my things, be my guest.
Huh? Do you have any idea what I'm saying? These are not just empty threats coming from me.
I don't really care, honestly. It's not like I ever had much to begin with. Also, there are no photos of me and my little sister over at your house.
What?
My family wasn't the best when I was growing up anyway, so I never had many photos of my sister and I taken when we were together. I'm sure the only reason that you're trying to make threats like that towards me now is because you guys are in dire need of a working drone again, right? Well, I'm not going back to that life.
Just get your ass back here right now. The inside of this house is a dang mess, and I will not let it stay this way any longer.
Then how about you get back to it and clean your house up yourself? On another note, the bank will be asking you guys to pay off the rest of the loan here soon, so please do what you can to pay it off.
Huh? A loan? What the hell are you going on about now?
Both that house you all have been living in and that car you guys have been using were bought with loans, right? And my husband had been forcing me to pay off both those loans by myself. He told me that since I was the one working, I should be the one to pay things off in the house.
And that makes total sense to me. Since you were going to continue working after marrying my son, then you should be putting all that money into the house and family.
Yes, and I totally agree with that. Hence why I would put the $2,500 I made each month into the house. Yet that wasn't even enough, so I had to start using up my savings and putting in another $500 every month, making a total of $3,000. But now that I'm a complete stranger to all of you, there's no reason for me to be paying anymore, right? I want for you guys who are still living there and who are still using that car to pay instead of me.
Every month you were putting $3,000 into this house? There's no way we can cover that every month for you. I want to know why you were even having to pay that much. Are you trying to lie to me now in order to make yourself look good?
No, I think you've just forgotten is all. After you went and had the inside of the house completely remodeled and then all brand new furniture placed inside, the price of things went way up. And then you said when getting a new car that you wanted the most expensive SUV they had on the lot, which only made us have to get a bigger loan. Neither the house or that car are mine though, so there's literally no reason for me to have to pay for them anymore. If you're not going to be able to pay off the rest of those loans, then sell the house and the car. That will be your worst case scenario, I'm sure.
I am not screwing around right now. Why do we have to do all of that now? We are not paying for any of this. You are going to be paying for the rest of this house and car whether you like it or not. Eliana, why are you being such a child about all of this? Stop being such an embarrassment and come here, right now, to help us.
Good morning, Isla. And what could you be going on about today?
Don't you play dumb with me. I just got a call from the police explaining to me that I am a suspect in a crime and need to follow up with them. All I did was discipline you, all right? I can't believe that someone your age isn't aware of the most basic things, and I feel so bad for you because of that.
Ah, so that's what you're upset about. Well, that was me who informed the police about what happened.
Well, you tell those police to leave me alone, and then come back here and pay up. You're screwed in the head if you think that I'm a criminal.
Actually, the reason I think you're a criminal is because you are one. And so I had to tell the police about what you'd done.
Huh?
Even if it wasn't as bad as I first thought, you still assaulted me. There have also been cases of abuse within your house, both verbally and physically. Had I not told the police, then I would have never been able to live with the things that have happened to me. Of course, before I was able to live with what you'd done to me because I thought that was all normal. But now I'm very much aware of what happened to me was anything but. So now I'm going to make sure your crimes are handled in a professional and legal way.
You hold it right there. I have not done any of those things to you. Stop trying to frame me for something I haven't done.
Actually, you've done plenty of terrible things to me now, and that's why the police are taking all of this very seriously. All because you seem to think that me working a full-time job wasn't enough, and that I had to be home to take care of all the house as well for you. Then there were times you'd run your mouth about how terrible my cooking was and toss it all. Do you have any idea how much food you've wasted? I put in so much work making food for you and everyone else, yet there were times you wouldn't even try it, instead calling it disgusting before throwing it all away.
It's your fault for making such tasteless food for a household of classy eaters. Honestly, I just thought you were always trying to make food for us with leftovers. You can't call what I did a crime when it was only natural of me to do.
You really think I'm complaining about that alone?
Excuse me?
All those days you'd have guests over, I had to be the one to prepare everything. And if there was ever anything wrong, even if it was the slightest mistake regarding those preparations, you'd start to hit me in the back with a broom close to 100 times. Then there were the days you wouldn't let me eat anything while locking me in a room. Sometimes that would be for a few hours and other times a few days. There were plenty of times I thought I was going to die in that house. But I had no idea what a good family was and thought the way I was being treated was normal at the time. I always thought there was something wrong with me because my parents spoiled me with the idea that everything was my fault.
And you're right to think that because how you've been treated is normal. I've now had to take on the responsibility of disciplining a useless and dumb woman. And that means you have no right to be complaining about any of it.
But the thing is, your house has been anything but normal. When I told my little sisters-in-law all about what's happened there, they were all up in arms. And do you want to know what my sister's husband said? She said that the fact my own husband wouldn't even step in to protect me from you shows that he's messed up as well. He told me that my husband most likely didn't even love me. My sister's husband was furious to learn about what happened. And because of that, I finally realized that my husband wasn't meant for me. Having a family of people who have had nothing to do with me worrying so much finally opened my eyes to what the problems were. Everything that you guys have been doing to me was all criminal and has been dealt with.
What the actual hell is this? I have no idea what's going on. You've been brainwashed by those fools. Brainwashed! You've just been lied to by a family of heathens, and now you're having those strange delusions about what a family should really be.
Don't call my sister and her family heathens.
What?
They gave me a place to stay when I was worried about going back home to you. And they all listened to me and my concerns when I was about to break down and cry. They were all strangers to me who I had never even met before. Yet they were all worried about me and asked me over and over about what happened. This was the first time in my life where I had people around me who showed that they were really upset about what happened and wanted me to feel loved.
I can worry about you too. That's the whole reason I've started to message you like this in the first place.
The only thing you're worried about right now is the fact that you no longer have a slave in the house, right? I have finally been given the gift of love from a group of strangers and will no longer be going back to the place where I was abused. And until you all have paid for the pain you brought me, I am not ending my talks with the police. I'm not some doll that you all can get away with beating up now.
Huh? Don't you talk back to me like that. Especially when you're the most useless and stupid woman to ever walk this earth.
Say whatever you'd like about me, but I am never going to feel scared and saddened about the things you say to me anymore. I'm going to make sure that in order to save everyone else from having to suffer through your guys' hell, that you are all crushed and can no longer get up.
If you think you can do anything to us, then show me. The most a weakling like yourself could possibly do to us is make us laugh. I'll show you, though. I'll make you regret ever baring your teeth like that to me. Hey, stop acting like a child and respond to me right now. What happened to all that power you had yesterday? You've always acted like a coward, so I'm sure there's no more fight left within you now. But I've had enough from you, so be ready for the beating of a lifetime. I'll make sure to discipline you with every bit of my body, so that you will never, ever talk back to me ever again.
Hello. Sorry for using my older sister's phone. I am her little sister Kate. My sister has had to spend years dealing with abusers, and is now sound asleep, finally getting some good sleep at this house. That's why I'll be talking with you right now, and letting her sleep in this morning.
Huh? So you're going to be taking her place talking to me then, huh? You have the same blood as that useless woman, so I'm sure you're just as pathetic, right? I'm sure whatever you have to say to me means nothing at all. So get your sister to talk to me right now, or I swear I'll...
And why should I have to listen to what a criminal wants? I'll make sure to have our lawyer get in touch with you soon, so you can have the much more serious talk with them. And if you're still talking like that, then good luck getting out of this mess you've created.
What? What the? You guys have a lawyer now?
Well, of course. Eliana needs to make sure she has someone to support her when asking for a settlement from you. And I'll have you know this right now. My sister is not changing her mind on what she wants from you. So I would highly recommend you and your family start working together with a lawyer if you hope to have any chance of lessening your punishments.
Wait, just a second. Why are you talking about something like that right now? A lawyer? A settlement? All of that is the kind of stuff you only hear about in dramas.
Well, unfortunately, right now we're dealing with a lot of drama, so this has to happen. What you did to my sister was all crimes, and some of those could have very well been considered life-threatening crimes. I think she has every right to have you all pay her a settlement for the damages and ask that the judge sentence you to some time. I'm hoping that she gets away with pulling a massive settlement from you before you go.
I'm not taking this from my daughter-in-law. I won't let her take anything from me or send me to prison. And having to pay for a lawyer would be a complete waste of our money. Eliana doesn't even have the money left either, so how is she paying for a lawyer in the first place?
If that's what concerns you, just know that my family is paying for her lawyer.
What?
My husband happens to be a lawyer himself, so he was able to find someone in his firm that could help us at a reduced cost. Actually, the man he's found for Eliana is one of the best lawyers in the city when it comes to things like domestic harassment and assault.
Your husband is a lawyer?
Yes, which means he is friends with a lot of the police force and has friends who are detectives as well. He's already gotten in touch with one of his detective friends, and they have begun to investigate your family to make sure they have accounts of all the things you've done. We already assumed we'd find lots of things like assault and harassment within your family, based off what Eliana told us. But who knew you guys were also known for theft and scamming? Seems you guys have been on the run from all that too.
You guys were able to find out about all of that as well?
Of course. But you guys were able to run away before the police or anyone could find you. Until now. So don't be surprised when the police begin to ask about that later as well. And the judge, of course. We've already told the police about it with the evidence we found, so it's only a matter of time before they come to your house. Be prepared to be taken into their custody soon.
Wait a second, please. You're only causing my head to spin more and more by saying that. So, can we please discuss this in...
We are not discussing anything with you anymore. We don't want to be in close proximity to those that not only assault and harass, but rob and scam people as well. It's time for you to be judged for your crimes, right? And once you've had to pay my sister for everything you've done to her, I believe you and your family will be losing everything. Normally, that would leave you on the streets with nothing at all, but luckily, you'll be in prison after paying, so you will still be fed and housed.
If that happens to me, I won't have a life after getting out. I don't care what all we did. You shouldn't be wanting to send us to jail, right? Do something to stop those police. If you let us all fall, then we'll never be able to get back up.
After all those years of hurting my sister under your oppression, what makes you think I'm listening to you now? This is what you deserve for your crimes, so take it on the chin like a man, and stop being such a problem for everyone. You're nothing more than monsters. I won't let you do any of that crap to anyone ever again. Are you alright, Eliana? I'm glad to hear that your fever has gone down some, but if you want to eat something, please let me know. I can make you something up right now, or order something. If you want some ice cream or some jelly, let me know, please.
Thank you, Kate. I'm sorry for leaving everything up to you in the end like that after passing out. I really am so weak.
What are you saying, Eliana? Your body is so beat up right now that I'd want you going to a hospital if I could have my way. When this is all over with, we're taking you to see a doctor, okay? We need to make sure there isn't something worse going on inside you, and that it will all heal with rest and time.
I'm sorry that this has all had to happen right after your wedding.
Stop apologizing to me for everything, okay? Also, this is me paying you back.
What?
The one who had always been protecting me from Mom and Dad back in the day was you. You also handled things like my college fees and telling mom and dad off when they came looking for me. I know that you've pretty much been doing everything to take care of me.
You knew about all of that?
I'm your little sister, aren't I? Of course I'd find out who was taking care of me like that when it's my own sister. I want to say, you have been working so hard all your life for other people besides yourself. So, from here on out, let me care for you. I'm not your little sister hiding behind your back anymore.
That's very true. I can't believe you grew up so fast without me ever noticing. I'm so happy.
Come on now! Stop talking like you're my mother or something.
I'm sorry. Someday I'm going to have to thank you properly for all of this.
And I'm telling you, you don't have to. All I ask is that you focus on getting better again. You have put up a fight for long enough now, and it's your time to relax. So, from now on, if you're starting to feel unwell or sick, let me know and I'll be there for you. When you passed out like that, I was freaking out.
Sorry about that. I didn't think that I'd be making all of you worry about me like that. I've always been so used to having to care for myself on my own, so when I saw all of you worrying about me, I had no idea what to do.
I'm sure you are still thinking about everything you'll have to do after today. But look, think of the time you have right now as rehabilitation. You don't have to overwork or anything, just as long as you take the time to feel better again.
That's true, actually. I'll think of things like that then.
See? I want you to start right now learning how to relax and let others do things for you. Actually, I want you to tell me right now how you feel about me. You've never said anything about how you think of me before, right? So, give it a try right now.
Now that you mention it, I don't think I've ever spoken out about anyone. Saying this right now is going to be a bit embarrassing. But if I don't say anything, you'll never know, right? So I'll say it. Thank you so much, and I love you a ton, Kate. In the end, everyone in Iris's family was arrested by the police and taken to jail where they all awaited their court hearings. There, I was able to get a settlement from both Iris herself and my ex-husband, which ended up being for more than they had combined in their bank accounts. Iris was also charged with multiple accounts of assault and 2 charges of attempted murder, while the whole family was charged with things like robbery, grand theft auto, and fraud. And just like I had told Iris, they all would end up going to prison to do some time, which is actually lucky for them considering they had to sell their house in order to pay those settlements off, so better there than nowhere at all. I think that my ex and his dad would be getting around 5 years in total, while Iris got 15 years, which at her age is pretty much a wrap. I can definitely say one thing, though, and that's that she will never be hurting anyone again, and I'm sure the same can be said for my ex, too. My sister was very happy with the end results, and I think her whole family was cheering when that trial and everything was over and finished in my favor. When that was all done, we went out for dinner at a 5-star hotel outside of town, where I got to have my first ever course dinner and have food cooked for me for once. I told everyone that since I'd be getting a lot of money from Iris and them, I'd pay for everyone's dinner. But the moment I brought that up to the family, every single person said no to me in unison, which just goes to show I'm in good hands now. As for myself, I was originally thinking that after my body had healed up and I got most of my sight back in my right eye, I'd leave my sister's family's house. But none of them wanted me leaving their house just yet, and instead chose to have me hired as their part-time housemaid. I am having to do a lot of the chores and cooking I was doing before, however, this time I was being paid to do them, while also being thanked and not having to worry about being hurt in any way. My body still has a ways to go in terms of healing, as my face is still getting some work done on it through grafting and having the wraps replaced. However, the doctor did say that in a few more weeks I could keep them off and start taking showers and things like that again. I also ended up going to see a doctor for a full body exam a week after everything was settled, and there I learned that I had broken one of my ribs at one point, but it was all healed up now and not worth worrying about. I was also told to start taking large amounts of vitamin D since it had been a long time since I last went into the sun and was starting to feel that for sure. All in all, though, my body did end up healing itself together pretty well. and the doctors told me that within a couple of months, I should be feeling 100%, as long as I kept on getting the sleep I needed and resting a lot. Right now, I think I'm feeling the happiest I have ever felt, and it only took me close to 30 years.